Hi there, and welcome to the very first episode of Three Things, the new videocast from the Institute for Manufacturing at the University of Cambridge. I'm David Lott, the CEO of IfM Engage, the knowledge transfer arm of the IfM, and joining me in this very first episode on my blue chair is the Dr. John C. Taylor, Professor of Innovation, Tim Minshall, Head of the IfM and author of best-selling book, Your Life is Manufactured. Tim, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for inviting me along.
It's a real pleasure. Good to dive straight in. So the idea of this is to keep it fairly punchy. So your first thing is what path brought you to the Institute?
So it was a bit of a boomerang pathway. I first came here as a PhD student in 1993 when I just returned from living and working in Japan. And I was intrigued by why was it so difficult to understand and to see how the outputs of science and technology weren't being scaled up into new products and services to address new opportunities and respond to brand challenges. And I was particularly interested in how companies could collaborate to more effectively scale up the outputs of R&D. And this led me to want to know more about not only how it works in theory, but how it works in practice. So a place like the IfM was absolutely perfect for that. So I then moved on from the IfM, went to work at a place called St. John's Innovation Centre to support tech startups as they tried to do this very thing, and then came back into the university in 2002 and have been here ever since.
Excellent, fantastic stuff. Right, so your second thing, could you share one key insight or a project that you're working on right now?
Sure, and I guess everybody who sits in this chair will say that their thing is the most important, but what I'm trying to look at is how do we better understand the whole future of the manufacturing workforce issue, which is a huge topic, I know, but there seems to be lots of really good work and understanding out there, but there isn't something that brings it together and says, look, we've got a whole bunch of transformations happening in manufacturing at the moment, but how can we be better at actually making sure we have an integrated view of the manufacturing workforce of the future? What I mean by that is there's great work being done about supporting the way in which we develop and support those who want to work in R&D for new science and technology, and that's absolutely fantastic. So that's sort of your academic, the PhDs type workforce there. But then as we move to sort of beginning to see the application of that through the building of prototypes and small batches and early scale-up, do we have a workforce ready for that? I mean, workforce in all senses, just people who work in manufacturing. But then all the way through to then the high-volume scale-up of solutions as well. Do we have an understanding of how all of that fits together and that we have an integrated view that avoids us falling off a series of mini cliffs? So we often talk about the innovation valley of death or valleys of death as something moves up and then there isn't a momentum to take it to the next stage. Well, a huge part of that is not having the right people at the right stages to scale things up. So that's what I'm particularly interested in.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Tim. And your third and final thing, if there are one thing that manufacturers should either start or stop doing right now, what would that be?
Well, to me, it links back to that second great question, which is all about the people. And I think we spend a lot of time at the IfM, as you know, going out and listening to the challenges facing manufacturers at the moment. And there are a whole load of those to do with just coping with a very difficult economic climate, but also getting themselves prepared for the future. So linked to that, I think it's something about what will be your workforce requirements in 5 to 10 years' time, and to take that slightly longer view of things. So we're not all behaving in a way that's very responsive to emerging crises and emerging needs, but thinking we are prepared to be the employer of choice for whatever may be facing us in 5 to 10 years' time.
Excellent. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us for this very first episode of Three Things. Thanks to Tim. And I do hope that you will join us next time. If you'd like to get in touch, please join the comments, drop me a direct message, and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.